Welcome, everyone. Um, so glad you're here today, and we're excited to start our next course. And I would like to introduce our two instructors, Linda Baker and Dr. Sid Jordan. And from here, I will turn the class over to them.
BC, could you just can you let us see each other for just a second and stop the share for just a second? Okay. If everybody that can, if you could put your videos on for just a second. You can wave hi to everybody. So I just want to say right off the welcome, and that this is going to be a very interactive, very experiential course. And so I'm hoping everyone that speaks Portuguese has their captions on. And I also have the tech to, if you speak Portuguese, I can see it in English. So let's just take a moment and look around and look at everybody and say, this is us, this is our class. Just take a look at everybody. Yeah. Nice to see everybody here. Maybe you all could just take a deep breath too. Oof. Come into the class. Yeah. I think I need two breaths. All right, we're going to begin. Reese, you can put the slides up. So the name of this class is Creating the Container or Belonging and the Joy Quotient. So the next slide. So first we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm going to let Dr. Sid Jordan introduce himself first, and then I will introduce myself. Just a little bit about us if you don't know us.
Good morning and namaskar. I'm Dr. Sid Jordan. Vishwamitra gives away that I'm a family acharya in Ananda Marga. My background is as a clinical psychologist, and I've taught at a medical school and several colleges. And I've had the privilege of creating two preschools in Charleston, South Carolina, and here in Asheville. Those are my most proud moments, is working with preschools in spite of being a graduate level educator. Namaskar.
And greetings, everyone. My name is Linda Vishala Baker. I'm very delighted to be in this class. I'm kind of a little nervous and very excited because we have such a diverse group of students, and we're juggling a lot of things around that. And we're really hoping that, we could all feel like we belong here and that we have a place here. I'm just double checking that Reese's put the PowerPoint in Portuguese in the chat for those that need it. I was a teacher for preschool and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and also a school counselor in the United States for pre-K through 8th grade for many, many years. And then also a family constellation facilitator and a catalyst in systemic education. And you'll find more about what all that means in course. And I've also been an instructor at the college for a number of years now, since its inception. So I'm very excited to be here, and we're going to start on a very interesting journey.
I left off that I'm the provost for the college. and have been working as formerly the director, and Reese became the director, and then I became the provost in charge of academic affairs.
Okay, so let's go now to the next slide. We're going to start right away with a little exercise, and we're going to use a technology called mirror boards. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. So we'll do this exercise first, and then we're going to go into the mirror board, and we're just going to just take it slow, and we're going to support you and help you with this if it's new for you. So I'd like everyone to get settled in their space that they are. I think it helps to put your feet on the ground to sort of ground yourself for this. And during this course, we're going to find a lot of ways of knowing, not only thinking, but feeling, sensing, and intuiting also. And so we're going to get a little practice with that right now. So feel grounded, comfortable in your self and your body, and just take 2 deep breaths in and out, and in and out, and try to become fully present here in this class. We've all had mornings or afternoons or evenings, but right now we're here in this class. So for our first class, we're going to create what I call a container for the class, because it's just not me teaching and Sid teaching. It's all of us creating this environment together. And I call that creating the container for the class. And this is an exercise that you can use in many, many different ways. And if we have time, we'll talk about that. But for right now, this that I'm showing you now is just some examples of something we might either bring into this container or what we need in the container. Because in this class, we are going to be sharing, as we feel comfortable, some personal things. It's about teacher development and our inner teacher development. So we want it to be a place where we feel comfortable and that we belong, and that yeah, that feels good to us. So I'm going to invite you. I'm going to go around the circle here, and I have it in English and also in Portuguese. And I'm going to just say each beat. This is so as we're going around the circle here, I want you to see which you're really drawn to, or is there something missing that is going to help you feel connected and comfortable in the classroom. So be purposeful. Hold the goal lightly to give a sense of direction. Be present. It is the key for raising awareness. Listen deeply to what is said, gestures made, and levels of energy. Suspend judgment. Be open to the possibilities. Bring your creativity. Access and value your intuition. See the whole. Look for the answers in the patterns of relationships. Respect confidentiality. Protect anonymity if working with sensitive information. And then there's the open bead of something that maybe comes into your mind, something that isn't here. So just take a moment and look around the circle again and see what one or because we get a little square to write on. What one thing really draws you in? Or what is not here? And this is something that you can bring into the class or you might need from the class. And just take a moment with that. What really resonated with you? Oh, I'm a good listener. So I listen deeply is something I can bring into a breakout group or to the class. Or I really need to feel that people are present in order to feel comfortable, or that they respect confidentiality, or they don't judge. Or I've really been trained and learned how to bring my creativity into something. So when that feels like it's gelling and setting with you, Reese is going to put, I need you to stop sharing, Reese, so I can share the mirror board. He's going to put a link in the he's going to put a link in the chat, and people are already doing it already. So the instructions are there. Drag a sticky note of your choice and place it in the circle. Click on the note and type your name and what you're bringing or what you need from the container. And I'm going to make the container a little bit bigger so that we can really, so we can see. Now, if you are not able to do this after trying many times, it's not working, then you can put it in the chat and Reese will help you. If you're not sure about the English and translating to the English, put it in, especially for some of our Portuguese students, you can put it in the Portuguese and he will translate it for you. And don't worry about the lines. We'll see what that brings too. So you're going to put your name on it and then something that you're going to either bring to the class or that you need from the class. So I see already we have will, desire, pleasure, love, fun. I need to stay calm and focused. I'm bringing the love for neo-humanism. I'm a good analyst, listener, and contributing. I'm bringing understanding and patience. Connection, understanding, fun, jokes, and smiles. Fun. Oh, we're going to joy. We're going to have a lot of fun in this class. Okay, so if you're still struggling, I would invite Reese to put it in the chat, your name and what you want to write in the chat, and Reese will put it on a sticky note and put it in. And we need a little bit of translation here also. United effort, united movement, like a symphony. So if you just click on and take one, and then you can drag it to where you want to place it. There we go. So while we're doing this, if you're done, take a look and see, what do you notice? What do you notice about this, about our class? What are you noticing? And you can put in the chat for right now, what might you be noticing about the class? And if you haven't been able to navigate this, please again put it in the chat and we'll make one for you. Okay. I'm going to just read around one more time, and then we'll come out and we'll kind of talk about this a bit. And I'm not able to see because of the way, the bottom one, because of the way this is, there we go, up a little bit like this. So I have two that need translation, one that needs translation. Okay, so we have fun, joy, support and love, support and inspiration, will, desire, pleasure, united movement like a symphony. I bring deepness, love, present. I need to stay calm and focused. I'm bringing the love for neo-humanism. I'm a good listener and contributing. I bring understanding and need patience. I'm bringing intuition, truth and acceptance. Intuition and possibilities, understanding, connection, and smiles to enhance the enjoyment of being in class. I feel interaction with each other and know more about each other. Intuition. And we are together. Reaction is all the colors. We have one more coming in. So this is who we are as a class. This is what we're bringing in. I bring in service to community. This is what we're bringing in, and this is some of what we need. So take a breath, and then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of what we notice. Here's another one coming in. I'm bringing our onboard understanding and love. And there's Sid, love of all, Sid. And I think I'm going to tell you what I notice, and then we'll talk a little bit in the chat about what other people said. I'm noticing that there are some attempts, and I'm drawn to the lines of people trying to figure out how to do this, and there are squares and circles and lines, and yet it flows all into the circle. So all of our efforts and our missteps and then learnings, just like when we're dealing with children, how that then comes and settles. And what is said is important, not all the attempts at getting there. That's important too, and noticed and recognized. Okay. So if you did not get a chance to use a sticky note and to come in, then you're going to get another chance. Put it in the chat, and I think our tech people will bring it in. Reese, do we still have things in the chat that need to be put in?
Yes, I just saw another one come in. I'll be putting that in now.
Okay, but that would be the last one for now, right?
Yes, thank you. I see. Well, I'll just put two more in that just came in after
Okay.
I said that. So thank you for
Okay.
participating, everyone.
Focus and not giving up. That was our last one that came in. And thank you for not giving up on this. Yeah. So if anyone wants to just unmute and say anything about what they might have noticed about this. I think someone said they noticed the colors. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and kind of come in and see if we had any comments in the chat here. So I'm going to go through the comments in the chat, and then we'll move on to the next thing. And some people are saying it's beautiful. I feel interaction with each other and know more about each other. We are together, reaction, colors. I'm bringing precipitation, focusing and not giving up. I notice a diversity, a chest of different beautiful gems. It's uniting. Yes, I agree. That's why I did go through a little bit of the trouble of doing it. And we'll talk more about, we're going to be doing quite a few of these different kinds of exercises. And at some point later on, we're going to get a chance to talk with each other about how we might use something like this with a group of adults or children that we're working with. Okay. Reese, I think we're back with the PowerPoint now, the Google Slides. Okay, so next one. Next one. Okay. So I thought I could give you a little bit of, this is just a little bit introduction. I always like to do that kind of create the container exercise first, because it kind of gives us a sense of being together. And now we're going to kind of have a little more information for just a bit. So I wanted to give you a little preview for what the course is going to look like. It's 6 weeks, so it's short. This week was creating the container, and I just talked a little bit about the introduction to ways of knowings and what is the joy quotient in teaching. And I don't know if a lot of education programs talk about that, but we are. Next week, is going to be about my individual system. I'm going to let Sid talk about that. Sid, you have to unmute.
The second week will involve the biopsychology of I have something covering my screen. The second week will cover the biopsychology of our individual personality from the physical, mental, and spiritual levels. It'll focus principally on the yoga asanas that are the gateway to our inside-out communication. And then week 3 will focus more on meditation as our access to our individual selves.
And it'll be not only meditation, but other contemplative practices, because people have different ways of getting into that insight place. Next slide. Nope. There we go. Then in week 4, and you'll notice that Sid and I will be going back and forth. Some of us, he has those are his main things that he's doing, but I will have little exercises spread in. And when I do my stuff, he'll have little stuff spread in. Week 4 is going to be about our relational system. It's going to be an introduction to family systems, my own family, because that's part of who we are. Even if we're a sannyasi, is where did I come from? Where did I grow up? Who is in my family? Who is in my system? What are some parts of that system? And how can we release entanglements and increase love? And then in week 5, we're going to talk about, as a neo-humanistic teacher, how we balance our individual and collective needs of our system with the systems of the students in our class. And talk about presence, belonging, and friendly cooperation. Week 6, I'm going to pass it back to Sid.
Week 6 will be your cultural system from your pranadharma, which is your cultural orientation, how you've been influenced by your culture, and then how that graduates into a neo-humanist point of view, where you identify with everything around you, where you become one with the world. And then sharing that personal development and a support care plan will be carried out through the rest of the course. That care plan will be related to your reflective essays, and that will be going throughout the whole course.
Okay, so the next slide, please. Okay, so about assignments. Since this class is so experiential, and also because we know you're going to be taking another class alongside of this that's more philosophical, we have very little work outside of class, not a lot. We have 4 reflective journal assignments that have to do, for example, unfortunately, there was a little bit of some technical stuff about getting you in here. There was an assignment we wanted you to have done today, which we're going to use that information and what we wanted for that in this class, and we've adjusted that. So you can do that. All the reflective journal assignments are from a few paragraphs to half a page or a page. They all have to do with your personal development, or what you're personally thinking about helping to develop in yourself. And then there will be some systemic exercises, and I'll explain what those are. Create the container was one. So that has to do with what you're doing in class and your participation in class, because we're having so much outside of class. So little outside of class. Some of our quote unquote assignments are actually what we're doing in class. And then there will be one project. So there'll be some readings, short readings, 4 reflective journal assignments during the course, and 1 final project. The final project is going to be your student support plan for yourself and development plan for yourself, which you're going to be able to kind of carry with you through the 2-year if you go through the 2-year course. And we had spent in about 2 weeks, we have a template, we're going to explain all about that. But some of these journal assignments will help feed into that. So that's that. And resources, we have a lot in Google Classroom that is extra things to read, or any kind of like this exercise that I just did, create the container. I have something called creative briefs. They are in there if you want to reference them, but they're not required reading. They're just extra resources for you if you want to go more in depth to some of the subjects that we're involved with. Okay, next slide.
Now we're going to deal with our own school and teaching experience, the experience we had early in schools that we remember. So we're going to do a guided visualization. So prepare yourself for meditative internal visualization. So
Wait,
I want you to
sit. For those that are trying to read captions, they're going to have to do that by reading and with their eyes open for this. So just so you know.
Yeah, eyes open for the instructions.
Right.
But the guided visualization will be looking at your early years in school, the experience that you had as a young child, and then your first experience as an educator, as a communicator and teacher. So now that you've read the instructions, now close your eyes and prepare for visualization. And your first visualization will be recalling a moment in school, in your early years of school. You may have several memories that come up, but finally settle on one memory and allow yourself to focus on that one memory of your early schooling, what it was like. It might have been a pleasant experience or an unpleasant experience, but recall that time in school and see yourself going about being in school, and be aware of how your body reacts in this scene. Be aware of how your body reacts in this scene. And what meaning it has for you, the meaning that it has for you. This early experience in school as a child. And after you've arrived at the meaning, gently let go of that experience. And then keeping your eyes closed, let yourself now focus on an experience as an educator, as a teacher, or as a coach, whatever experience you had as a teacher, as an educator, as a new educator, as your first experience as an educator. And focus on that experience as a new educator, and be aware of how your body is responding to being a new educator and helping someone else learn. Be aware of how your body responds and what meaning it has for you to be a new educator. And slowly let yourself grasp the meaning of being a new educator, what it meant for you. And very gently let go of that experience and allow yourself to come back to the room. And now we'll have a breakout groups of 4 or 5 people for 15 minutes to discuss this experience. There are two experiences to discuss: your early experience in school, and secondly, your experience as a new educator. So you'll have 15 minutes to discuss this with a group of 4 or 5 people.
So each person gets about 3 minutes to share. So just keep that in mind, and it's a good idea to have your video on when you're in the breakout group. So Reese, I would put 5 people in, okay? That's what you did. I don't know if you set it up ahead of time.
All right, thank you, everyone.
You could put Dee Dee, Tapamaya, me, and Sid all in different groups.
Okay, and just so all the students are aware, I will be putting the instructions in the chat for what to discuss so that you have that to reference. And I would just encourage you to look at that now because you may not see it when you go into the chat room, but I will be coming into each chat room and reposting it there for you in case you don't have it. So I'll be opening up the breakout rooms now, and I invite you all to please join.
Welcome back, everybody.
There was a lot of enthusiasm in the sharing and a lot of humor.
We built a good container because, you know, a lot of times our very early experiences as students really inform how we come into thinking that we want to take a course on neo-humanism and teacher prep, and if we had good experiences, we want to recreate that in our environments. If we had very difficult experiences, we want to change it so that children don't have those kind of difficult experiences that we did. And I appreciate everyone that did come in and share. Is there any how many groups were there, Reese? I think there was like 7 groups. So let me see how we're doing for time. Oh, so maybe we can have a few people that share maybe you can share something that struck you or was surprising, or something about the group that you were in that maybe surprised you a little bit or reinforced something for you also. So I like maybe someone from, I don't know if you saw what group you're in, but let's have a few people share out about what happened for them in that breakout group. About their group. It can be about yourself, but also about what you noticed about the group.
Dee Dee, unmute yourself, Dee Dee. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, yeah, namaskar. One interesting thing, it was 4 of us, and all 4 of us, we felt that as young people, we were already revolutionaries and a bit out of the norm. And I don't exactly remember her name, but she said she was a tomboy. And then I said that I was always trying to challenge the limits, where are the limits? And I was always trying to challenge them. And the other 2 as well, they expressed this feeling of being the revolutionaries in spirit.
Thank you. Somebody else, please just unmute and share. Go.
I think Ellen was in our group, and Amanda, and we ran out of time. Amanda was talking. I just want to say that, like, reflecting what she spoke, the one word came to my mind was resilience. What children, resilience came from that. But Ellen, I don't know if you would like to share what your insight. That was very beautiful.
Ellen.
Okay, hello everyone. My very first experience as a child was when I was 4 years old or 5 years old. I came in a classroom and there was yeah, a nice atmosphere, but there was, I think, a lot of structure. So we had to sit in a circle, and I was happy about feeling the connection with the other kids and the possibility to play and to be connected with everyone. But and my experience was that yeah, how to say that the atmosphere was a little bit intellectual. And my very first experience in Zonnelicht, Neo-Humanist daycare in the Netherlands, where I work for quite a long time now, was in the first week. I came in the room in the after-school program where the same age was, where as my first experience as a child myself. And there was it was confrontating for me that the atmosphere was more chaotic, but it was an intuitional and spiritual atmosphere as well. So doing this visualization, I saw the connection between my own experience as a kid and the first experience as a teacher here in Zonnelicht, and the differences between those experiences. And I think that in the education um, I followed, there was a lot of attention to the intellect. And when I came in Zonnelicht, there, yeah, the level of intuition was new to me, and yeah, I was confronted with my own emotions, my own experiences as a kid, and yeah, to deal with that. And uh, I came in my own process to heal something of those experiences inside of me. So I hope that yeah, can express this clear to you right now, what my experience was. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to share.
yeah, I think that our early experiences, as I said, can inform how we are. And then what I loved is you noticed that there was something that you needed to do some work on yourself to be as fully present and engaged in the children
Yes,
that
true.
you can.
Yeah.
And that is not, that is you, that is, not all teachers are willing to do that work. So,
Mm,
so I admire that you were willing to do that and you saw that.
thank you.
Somebody else about what happened in their group, or what you kind of noticed in the group. Another group, maybe someone can share from there.
There was a comment from Didi Shivani, if you want to read that, or maybe I see you've unmuted.
Yes, I can share because I didn't have time to share in my group. Then the first imagine that came to my mind was when I was child in the school. I was sitting outside the class with all the children. And I remember that I always, or not always, but so many times I keep sit just looking the other children and feeling so much insecurity to play to so many games because I was thinking that I don't know how to play, I don't know how to do. And this feeling becomes so much strong inside of me. I remember so much. I think that in general, the time in the school for me was good. I don't have bad remembers, but I always remember this imagine, and for that, for this, for me, is so important that one educate, one teacher always must be one look to each person, each children, what the child needs. This is for me so much important because I remember so much this feeling of insecurity that with the time I live it down, but was so strong. One small child during so many days, during so many years, just looking all the other children playing, doing the things, and I just looking because I don't have one adult close to me or one child close to me tell, now you can do it, come on, just pushing. Then this is that came until my mind, until my heart. And I think that what is the reason that I'm here now. I'm not teacher, but this is for what we want to do new school, to do teacher that each look each person, each child with sensitive.
Yeah. So the importance of recognizing each person for who they are, to recognize them.
Yes.
So that's about including everybody. It's included in belonging. And maybe we had a little sense of that about creating the container. Because in me, right now, present this moment, I'm thinking, did everyone get to put their sticky note in the circle of create the container? Or are there some people that still haven't had a chance to do that or weren't able to because of technology? And so, we'll have another chance next class for those that didn't make it today or weren't able to do it. Because that feeling that we're all together, that we see everybody is really very important, Amai. And that no one, that children can very easily feel excluded, very easily feel left behind. So that is, yes, important. And you feel it in your heart. Maybe one more go ahead, Sid, did you
I
want
was
to?
just going to say we had two that didn't get a chance to share,
Yeah.
Dada Gunatmananda and Didi Shivani. I think Didi Shivani's put something in the thread if you wanted to read that.
I think we have time to do those two. Go ahead,
Okay.
if they want to. So maybe Didi first, go ahead. Didi Shivani. Oh, I see Dada, you're ready, so why don't you go before her, okay?
Namaskar. I'm supposed to be sharing what at the moment? About what we talked about in the group.
Yeah,
Yes.
some people didn't get a chance to share in the group, so they were sharing to the big group. But
Oh yeah, it's true. The reason, okay, there was not much time to be honest, but I have a school here and the principal called me just and I had to answer the phone. So yeah, I missed my chance. Um, you know, Mostly I've done a lot of teaching, but not with children. I taught in a couple universities, and obviously as a acharya, I give lectures a lot to adults. Um, I don't have a lot of experience with children. I get bored when I'm teaching children, to be honest. It's not really um, the way I like to interact with people. I like to play with kids, but I don't like to be the one teaching them so much. And but it's okay because we hire teachers for that, So I'm not taking this class because I want to be a primary school teacher. Um, I I didn't realize we were supposed to talk about our own experience when we were in school, our experience as teachers.
both.
Both, okay, because most people talk about their experience while they were in school. Um, you know, I don't have very clear memory of my early schooling days. I didn't like it much. There were a lot of bullies in schools in USA, and I grew up in the countryside in New York State. And yeah, I don't. I just remember I didn't like school at all. No, and I was good at it, but I didn't like it. And I was glad when it was over.
So,
Um,
so that informs you not having a great enthusiasm for actually teaching if you didn't like what was
no, I
happening.
like teaching, just not children.
Uh, uh,
Like that, I like teaching people who I can relate to on more of an intellectual level. Um,
I would recommend that you watch the video of Anjali's last meetup, and you might get a sense from that of people that have a great love for teaching little kids and why. Because if you're going to be administrating other teachers teaching, it might be interesting for you to watch that, to see someone who has real joy and what that's about. Thank you
you
for,
know, yeah, okay. You're welcome.
Didi Shivani, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I've been writing the group chat what I remember.
Okay.
When I'm children, I remember we are playing music in the beginning and it's very welcome, the children's, and Another memory I have about the lunching time. I remember my mother prepared with so love the lunch. Then we all eat together in the school. And after the second memory, when I'm in the first degree, when a little bit more bigger, I am really traumatized because I cannot memorize the some mathematics table. And then we have a punishment. I cannot play in the break. I cannot play out because I cannot memorize the mathematics. This is not good memory. Traumatized on that. And so for today, I see myself become a teacher, like a very inclusive, very loving and playful, very different to what my experience before. I want to do something the children feel really inclusive and love, learn happy learn, not by pressure, by stress, by memorizing. Yeah.
So you wanted to correct the experience that you had as a teacher. You wanted to correct the situation that you had as a child, as a traumatized child. You wanted to.
Yes. I want to do opposite of that. I want to give a good experience. Yeah. Learn with happiness, not with pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and this happens quite often. You have, teachers that become teachers because they want children to have a different experience that they had. So that does happen quite often. Yes. Okay, I think we're ready to move on. If there's something else you really felt like you wanted to share and you didn't, you could put it in the chat. And I'll be looking at the chat. And at the end of this next section, we can have a few more comments if that's what you wanted. But I really appreciate people being very open and honest and present about what happened to them as children teaching and then how they approach that as now teachers and being involved in this course, trying to see their vision for a whole school or for teaching other teachers or for their own teaching experience of what they want to teach. So, Reese, we can put up the PowerPoint again, and then we're going to go to the next section. But thank you, everybody, for your input.
Thank you so much. And I believe we are on slide 11.
Well, if you put it up, I'll notice right away.
Thank you.
No, that's not slide 11. That's the first slide. And I only see half of it, Reese. There we go. Okay, we finished this slide, so we go to the next one. Okay.
This is about choosing joy. That implies that joy is a choice. And the secret to choosing joy is to follow your heart. Next slide. Joy is defined very often by the world as an intense happiness we feel when we satisfy a great desire. That's the typical meaning of joy as it's translated by the world. But C.S. Lewis has a different definition. He says, quote, joy, that sharp, wonderful stab of longing, leaving a wake of mystery and longing behind it. And I added to that, that represents an unsatisfied and continuing desire for infinite limitlessness. We want to strive for limitless. We don't like to be limited. Next slide. So there are many different types of joy experience. Joy and happiness is a peak experience. It could be a moment of awe, like when we look up at the heavens at night and feel the immenseness of the universe. Or it could be ecstasy or joy in a personal relationship. Or sudden insight into life as a powerful unity. We feel the interconnectedness of everything. Or it could be that feeling of transcending space, time, and the self that we have in meditation, in a deep meditation. or the feeling of being one whole and harmonious self, feeling at harmony with everything and everyone. Next slide. Abraham Maslow spent most of his career studying what a peak experience was. And he defined a peak experience as the emotional reaction in the peak experience has a special flavor of wonder, of awe, of reverence, of humility and surrender before the experience of being before something great. Being before something great. That's how he defined the peak experience. Next slide. Now we're going to look at the biopsychology of hormones related to joy. This is the biological foundation for the experience of joy that promotes and maintains a healthy and joyful interpersonal relationships, but is also the foundation for cooperation. Next slide. The hormone that is most often referred to as one of the bliss hormones is oxytocin. And it was first studied as it was related to lactation of mothers and intrauterine contraction during birth. And it's also related to the experience that people have having sexual orgasm in men and women. The levels rise in response to remembering positive relationships. So any recall of a positive relationship will produce oxytocin. And the levels decrease in remembering negative relationships. So it's very relational. It's a relational hormone. Next slide. So generally, it's been noted that in women, it increases in response to positive emotions for committed relationships, more so than in men. And it promotes bonding in relationships between men and women, mother and child, father and child. So it's a relational hormone in all relationships. It promotes the development of relationships. Next slide. So endorphin is referred to as the bliss hormone, and this is a morphine-like substance produced by the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus. And it's produced during exercise or excitement or pain or consumption of spicy food and orgasm. So it's most commonly noted in what we call the runner's high. After you've been running for a period of time, you get your second wind, and that's the endorphins are kicking in when you get your second wind when you're running. Also, it's produced in relaxation, and the practice of acupuncture also produces endorphins. And breastfeeding produces endorphins. It's a relational context as well as lactation. It's not just a physical thing, but a relational aspect to endorphins. Next slide. A very interesting phenomena, this bliss hormone regarding bonding, is when the dog is wagging his tail, he's asking to be petted. And when you pet him, that's when the hormone is produced, endorphins are produced, and he stops wagging his tail when the hormones are produced when you're petting him. So he responds like human beings respond to affection. Next slide. Now, one of the most common things is the playfulness among children produces endorphins and bonds children. So we see children here rolling about and laughing and tumbling and playing, producing endorphins is part of their bonding response. Next slide. So Rumi, a poet, he gives a brief poem called Follow Your Heart that helps us to understand the access to joy through the heart. He says, let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. So practices that are having to do with following your heart and finding joy or meditation, asanas, expressive arts, writing, visual, song and dance, service, good company, chanting. All of these things calm the body and mind and produce a sense of joy and happiness. So these are 5 practices that can help you access joy through your heart. Next slide. So now what we want to do is do another visualization having to do with what brings you joy. And so prepare for a meditative, you sit in a meditative position and close your eyes and turn your attention inward. And let yourself start to remember all the things that bring you joy and happiness. And there may be many things that bring you joy and happiness, but finally settle on one so that you can have a deeper experience with this one event that brings you joy. And when you decide on that one event that brings you the most joy and most happiness, let yourself be there as though it were happening right now in the present tense. And feel your body's involvement in responding to this joyful event. Feel your body responding to this joyful event. And see what meaning it has for you. But allow yourself to enjoy being enveloped in this joyful experience, this happy experience, what makes you happy. Whether this involves other people or you're alone in meditation or in a very important relationship. See what brings you joy and how your body responds and what meaning it has for you. Allow yourself to go deeper into this joyful, happy experience and see what real meaning comes of it. But let the meaning grow out of the experience. And after you've come to the conclusion of what this joyful experience, this happy experience means for you, then you can open your eyes and prepare to go into breakout groups. Do we have time for breakout groups?
Should do 15 minutes of 4 or 5 people. So welcome back, everybody. I just wanted to say we're kind of getting the sense of, the first time we didn't have enough time and we had more people in the breakout rooms, and now we had less, but some of us had a little bit too much time. So it's just kind of a flow. We're figuring out the flow. And I think it's very important for everyone to go, because this is such a relational experiential I know sometimes it's challenging to be in breakout groups, especially if being in conversation with people is a little, a little more challenging for you. I'm quite an introvert, so it is a little bit of a challenge to be in breakout groups, but I would really encourage a lot of the sharing and the communication and the feeling of being together, and the relational aspect of this really happens in the breakout group, because we have big groups in the big groups, So, but maybe next time, Riki, next week, we'll put more like 5, 6 people in a breakout room so that we can, we have some balance. But I would really encourage everyone, even if you can't be there with your video because you have limited internet, you should at least be talking. And I did notice in a few that people were talking and they weren't putting their videos on. Sometimes people have very limited internet, and that's why they do it. So we're all sharing our joy. and what we were thinking about. And there was some wonderful sharing of the joy. Oh, I also want to apologize that for some reason, whatever access I have, I'd be in a breakout room and it would just pull me out and throw me in another breakout room. So if you felt like I interrupted your breakout room, I apologize. And if you felt like I talked and then I just left, it wasn't me. I was like, I'll figure that out for next week. So, but I would like to get in breakout rooms, and Sid and I would like to. And also to that Didi Ananda Tapamaya has already a graduate of the course, and she will also be a reader in the course. And I actually, when we get to the next part, I'm going to invite her to just say a few words and introduce herself just a bit, because she's also going to be part of this process also. So any, maybe we can do of like a hand raise either on the computer or here if it felt good to think about your joy and what made you joyful and sharing it. If you sort of felt a little bit inside you like, oh, yeah, I remember that felt good for me. So yeah, me too. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I think this is something that we can also think about when we're getting into a negative space. Take a moment and, some people meditate or play kirtan, but sometimes you remember something that made you feel really good. I always think of sort of people behind me that, and we'll go much more into this in a few weeks, that I know just loved me. And usually before a class, I imagine them standing, my spiritual teacher in front of me, and then people that like my grandmother or my mother standing behind me, supporting me, even though they're not with me anymore. I just imagine and feel that love. And that can really help me in when I'm doing something that takes a little bit more courage or might be a little bit challenging for me. But we'll get more into that. Sid, anything you want to say? But you're muted, so.
I found that being in the Portuguese groups, I still got the sense of joy through the nonverbal communication. And then somebody came and spoke in English and said, the Portuguese in Brazil is sweeter than that in Portugal. It's sweet, it's sugar. So I experienced the sugar of Portuguese in one of the breakout groups.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So you can put in the chat, or I have a lot of comments actually in the chat. So, and I don't know when they were. Oh, they had some questions, which we're gonna go through when we go through. But if you want to put a comment in the chat, anything about the breakout group that you want to share, you're welcome to do that. Or if there's any kind of comments that people want, we have time for maybe one or two comments about sharing your joy. All right. Because we want there to be joy in teaching, and we want there to be joy in learning. Because there's a lot of
Fabiola's raising her hand.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't see.
Eu posso resumir porque tivemos experiências muito similares entre os membros do grupo. O servir, né? O servir a coletivos, né? O trabalho comunitário, ou estar em retiros, foi algo que traz, algo que traz alegria para praticamente todos os membros do grupo. E estar em silêncio, ou estar em silêncio também, né? Meditando, ou fazendo um trabalho manual, ou lendo, estudando. Mas nesse lugar do silêncio, do indivíduo conectado com um todo maior, é algo que para quase todos os membros do nosso grupo foi similar.
So I'm supposed to be able to see that in English, but somehow it didn't work. So that's okay. I will figure that out for next week.
Maybe
Will
someone can
someone-
translate that quickly. Yeah.
Will someone translate? Yes. Go ahead.
Didi.
Namaskar.
Didi Kamari.
Yeah, I was not in that group because my internet is not stable, so I fall many times. But translating what she said now, that in the group everyone said almost the same. That the joy came from moments of silence. What more? I don't remember what you said.
Trabalhos comunitários,
Yeah, community jobs, service, more something, sorry.
atividades manuais e meditação.
Yeah, activity with hands, by hands. I don't know how to say exactly in English what is. More something. Deborah or Fabiana? I think it was this.
Meditação.
Meditation, yeah, silence in meditation or not. I think it was this.
Amigos, conversas entre pessoas de mesma filosofia, de mesmos encontrar iguais nos retiros, encontrar iguais nos retiros.
Yeah. Okay, to go to retreats and chatting with people which thinks similar in similar way with same ideology. I think it was this.
Well, thank you. See, we're managing, even though the technology isn't working the way I thought it was supposed to, but we're going to manage together. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
I saw one additional comment in the chat from Patrick. He says, I think there's a connection between joy and fulfillment when we achieve something great. If you want to add more, Patrick.
And there's another one in here that's community work, always telling.
That was a translation from.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right.
Pat, we are without sound.
Oh, they don't have sound.
I was not listening him.
Patrick was talking, but we couldn't hear him.
Patrick, can you unmute?
I don't see Patrick anymore.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick's
Go ahead,
unmuted
Patrick.
now.
He might have had
Well,
to
I've written what I wanted to say on the comment section about the connection, strong connection between joy and fulfillment. That kind that comes with great fulfillment that I can afford achievements. So for me, apart from joy that gives me achieving a great target that I've labored for, so brings kinds of joy and fulfillment to me.
Okay. That was a little hard to hear, but we have some translation on the bottom that says, I'm a little confused about a good target, about a new workforce, some new work gives you joy.
The chat, he was saying that achievement, when you achieve something.
Achieve, okay. So that might be some new work or something that you feel you're accomplishing and stuff. Okay. All right. Okay, I want us to get out on time. Or I actually, just so you know, I was a teacher and a school counselor for 35 years. I went to a lot of workshops and a lot of meetings. And it always was great joy if we got to leave 5 minutes early. So, so I try really hard to give us maybe a little bit of like, oh, I got it a little early. I can go have a cup of tea. So, but we do have one more thing. Let's see if there's any other comments. I'm going to just say one more comment if we have time, and then we'll go on to the last thing, which will just take a few minutes. Okay. Well, I think I can end by saying we had a lot of joy about water and swimming, and I shared that a lot, and beaches and being out in nature. So that was a lot we were sharing also. Okay, Reese, let's go to, and Didi Shivani, is that the one who was speaking Portuguese? Who was just translating for us?
Me, Linda. Didi Malika. I think my name is not now.
Okay, can you stay after class for just 2 minutes so that I can see if I can get the captions right with you for next week? Okay, so Reese, let's do the last slide. Which is about homework. So there was a pre-class homework assignment because I thought you were all gonna like be able to come in like a week ahead of time. And all it is your first chance at reflective journals. And it just asks you to talk about to write about your first experience, what we did in the breakout group, basically. So it was to give you a little time to think about it and write about it. So I would like you to do that. It's in Google Classroom classwork, Google Classroom and a classwork for pre-assignment, and everyone's going to have their own copy sent to them so they can just write it. And it's about what you remember from your early childhood education and your first experiences as an educator. Just what we did in the breakout loop, just write a little bit about it because I did get a chance to go into all the breakouts and hear everyone, and we'll respond to it. And the responses will be either from myself or Vishwamitra or Didi Ananda Tapamaya, or Renata, actually from Brazil, is going to be in the evening class. So she may have a few people also assigned from this class. Next week, there's short readings on chakras, propensities, and asanas, 2 short readings, and a reflective journal assignment that is going to talk to you about when, after you read that, what is something of the propensities that you would like to improve or strengthen and work on. So you read the readings and then you write.
Propensities relate to qualities of your personality.
Right. And that all the readings are in Portuguese and in English. And the journals are, everyone gets their own. And you can, if you can translate, if you're writing Portuguese into English, great. If you can't, then we'll also figure that out also. That's why we have Renata coming in to, because she speaks obviously fluent Portuguese. She's from Brazil. I don't know if everybody knows her from Brazil or not. So that's it. The student support plan is going to be a plan that you're going to come up with at the end of the class. There was a question about that in the chat. And utilize that, and we'll explain how throughout the rest of the courses. Because if you go through the whole program, you'll have a reflective essay at the very ends of the 2-year program in which you reflect upon that plan and how it worked for you.
So it covers it covers the whole cohort.
Right. If you do not plan on going forward, it's still a great plan. It's still part of the assignments for you to use in your life anyways. So I think I'm going to open up. We have 5 minutes, but if there's questions, if you don't have questions, I'd like to say great. The energy and enthusiasm and joy and connection here is fantastic. I really enjoyed the class. but you're welcome to leave if you need to. If you want to stay after for a few minutes, if you have a question or something you really is feeling with you that you want to have answered, we will also stay after for questions if you want. Okay?
There was one question that was put in the thread. It said regarding a book, beginning access to your book.
Yeah, that was Erica, right? Ishwari, yes, because I had talked about this book when we chatted 2 years ago, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yes, well, I've not completed the book, but you're going to get a lot of exercises that will be part of that book as we go through the course. So if you look at, and also the next course on the social context of the classroom, even more so, which is next year. So I will, you'll see them in additional resources. You'll see them.
There was another question that, so all people have it answered. It says, is the final project only for this course and not for the 2-year program? That was a bit confusing.
I just answered that. I just answered that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's what I just answered. Okay. So long, everybody. See you next week.
See you.
Namaskar.
So that's Visi, you can I want to Scott, can you pull this down so we can work on this for a second?
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Scott, can you take this music off?
I didn't share it.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Okay, so
questions.
Yes. Let's take questions first. Everyone, if anyone's here who has a question or needs to talk about something, they can do it now.
I have a question. No? Rina.
Yeah, Yeah, I know Rina. Hi, Rina. So happy to see you.
Thank you. The Dada Vishwamitra was saying about he mentioned that things brings joy, connection and service and things like that, all these positive things. But I was wondering, like, why some people have this kind of tendency to enjoy black things, like torturing others, or like, what is the source of that, like, kind of negative enjoyment, and how can we just deal with such a thing? Well, I know he's the right person to answer. He's a psychologist.
Yeah, but it's about transforming that negative energy into positive energy. There's a sutra that says obstacles are the helping forces in attaining our goals. So we take that obstacle and try to transform it into an opportunity to express joy. So the work is transforming that negative energy or that obstacle into something positive. And that's the individual transformative work that often needs help of another person. You need relational qualities, your relationship with other people to transform that negative energy into a positive energy. But you can use that negative energy as a helping force in attaining the goal of positive energy.
And does that require like also acceptance from the person? Because usually they are locked on themselves and they don't kind of recognize that pattern.
That's why it's important to include someone else. You may be as an individual locked into it, but the person who is capable of loving you and supporting you becomes a bridge. Ultimately, in our yoga, the guru is a bridge. But it may be a friend who is a bridge, or a therapist who is a bridge from that negative energy to that positive energy. But we need to accept the help of another person.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, Dee Dee. I have this set on speaking language. English.
Michelle, I just want to interrupt because I have been trying this entire class to configure those, And I don't know if, Didi, if they're working for you, but I cannot get the Portuguese. It was working in the last class. I don't know if something's changed with Zoom. Are you able to see English and Portuguese when people are speaking in either language?
Yeah, I don't know. I think because the translation is not good for us. I can understand and much better, I think, than others. At least for at least some ones, I know that they don't know anything about English, but the translation is not good. It's not good. So now someone write me, Didi, you should say that the translation is not working very well. Maybe in the last class was better, but today is not good. I don't know. I don't know if we have some another system, if you can find another option, because these translations is not good. Maybe also because the speed, no, you are speaking, and the speed of translation cannot follow, and all time will changing. We are trying to read, and the words are changing, so it's too difficult to follow the translation. So it's hard. It's hard to someone who cannot understand English.
Okay, so I have it on speaking English, caption Portuguese Brazilian.
Mm-hmm. Do you want do you want I speak in Portuguese now?
Yeah,
You can.
see what happens.
Ok, ok. Então, estava falando que o sistema não parece estar funcionando muito bem. A gente tem dificuldades de acompanhar a tradução, não?
It's not doing anything, so let me try this. Speaking Portuguese, caption language, English. Okay, so try now.
Uhum. Certo.
Again.
Eu estava falando sobre essa dificuldade de entender com a tradução.
Just writing it in Portuguese.
Ah, okay.
It's not.
Maybe
it's not captioned. So there might be a problem.
I put like my speaking English and my caption Portuguese cannot work. Maybe should be, of course, in opposite to you. My speaking language Portuguese and my caption language English for you.
And you're speaking Portuguese and it's writing Portuguese. It's not writing English. So I don't know what that problem is. So why don't you put yours as in your caption, speaking language English, caption language Portuguese.
Yeah, let's try here.
And I saw in the caption language, there's Brazilian Portuguese and Portugal Portuguese.
Okay, let's see. Okay, now I change a little. Let's see. I put my speaking language Portuguese. Now it's working. My caption, let's try.
I'm just saying from your end, for you set up, you can say speaking language Portuguese. And
yeah, I think I should change here. I didn't change. I just changed one. Now I saw I should change the other one. Let me just find here the option. Let's see now. Let's see, it's okay.
Can you speak in Portuguese for a moment?
Yes, just sim, posso falar. Eu não sei se eu conseguir fazer certo. Eu estou tentando verificar aqui, mas vocês estão vendo? Então, tá conseguindo traduzir? Sim? Consegue entender? Porque agora desapareceu para mim a opção aqui de mudar, mas eu acho que eu coloquei certo agora.
And now that we do speaking language Portugal, caption language, and English, it's working.
Okay.
Now do you and do speaking language English, caption language Brazilian Portuguese. Because there's two options for caption language, one Portugal Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah.
It up for your computer.
Yeah, for me, it's just my speaking language, Portuguese, no? But
And then
and
oh,
my speaking
okay.
language is just the one option, Portuguese.
But why don't you put for you on yours?
Now, my caption language, if I can change the caption language, so now I can find Portuguese Brazil, Portuguese Portugal, but my speaking language is just one option, Portuguese.
But you should make your thing be speaking language English because I'm speaking English and caption Brazilian Portuguese. So set that up and then I'm going to speak in English and you'll Portuguese looks like.
Okay, now I will change here. But was like this before. Before I was using like this.
Okay, so how is the Portuguese now? Is it working? Or it's not very good still?
Just now let me change because I don't know why I cannot change it now by speaking here. Okay, my captions Portuguese. Just a moment.
Yeah, caption. Yeah, you should have that option. Okay.
Okay, let's try. You can speak.
Okay, I'm just going to talk and see if the Portuguese translation is working correctly. And if it's good or it's terrible.
Yeah, okay, it's not so bad now. Not so bad. Maybe the speed should be slow.
So maybe what we need to do is speak a little slower.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
now
right.
it's better. No, Bhaskar. Bhaskar also speak Portuguese. Now it's better.
Okay, and what we'll say to people is to make sure that they set their captions, and maybe we'll ask you next time to speak that in Portuguese at the beginning of class, that they have their speaking language as English and their caption language as Brazilian Portuguese. So we'll next class, next Monday, to say that at the beginning in Portuguese, so that all the people that really need that caption language will get it. And we will speak slower. And then we'll also, like 10 minutes into the class, we will say, how is it? We'll do a check to see how it is for people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But we also did have the whole PowerPoint in Portuguese and it was put in the chat and people can click it so they can at least follow along in Portuguese, and we will have that.
Yeah.
So we might
Bruno was suggesting that maybe Vishwamitra also try, because I guess some accents might be more clear.
Can be.
Vishwamitra, would you like to give it a try?
All right. So you're translating now in Brazilian Portuguese. Is that correct? Is it
Yeah,
correct?
now it's okay. Okay, it's
Okay,
perfect
so
phrase.
the speech is not too fast,
Yeah.
and it detects my southern drawl.
Yeah. Takes time to create the phrase, but it's creating in a correct way. Because before it's creating like this, we cannot, if you were follow. It's better, no? Bhaskar, better.
Yes, a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do these things, and I'm going to write it in my notes so that I know. And we will put cohort 2 notes to let people know so they don't get discouraged. That we're going to have, I'm sorry, Didi, what is your name? Could you say Ananda Marga here? So I don't know what your name is.
My name? Kamalika,
Yeah.
Didi Kamalika.
Kamalika.
You can write.
Okay. So you're going to, in Portuguese at the beginning of class, go over the captions settings. And we're going to speak slower. And we're going to check in after. I'm going to write all this in the cohort thing, and I'll translate into Portuguese so that people can feel a little more comfortable. Check in after, 10 minutes. How's it going with the translations? And I think also, Reese, we should also, when you do that, go over the caption settings, we're also going to remind people they can pull the PowerPoint up
Yeah.
in the
To
chat.
use the Portuguese PowerPoint, yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is also, I'll also put in the thing, like next week's PowerPoint is already translated. I will put in the cohort, next week's PowerPoint is translated. You could go into Google Classroom and look at it ahead of time if you want to.
Yeah.
Just to kind of familiarize yourself with what's going on. So I'm going to make a note because we have it done, but we haven't translated it yet. And I'll post in the cohort WhatsApp. Okay. That will be helpful.
Okay, I think yes, I think can help.
So we'll just keep
Let's try, yeah.
Going to keep on doing it till we get what works.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking that the system, it was not nice, it was not good, but maybe let's try with this other velocity speed, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Let's try. Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so
Very good
much.
class.
Appreciate your help.
Thank you. Okay. Oh my God. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.